Good evening, everybody. How's it going? I am super excited for tonight's stream. I'm using a different microphone, so hopefully we can resolve some of the audio problems. I know that last stream I rewatched it and my voice was pretty quiet in some of the phases of flight, so hopefully that will take care of that for now. Man, we are in the IXEG 737-300, and just look at this. Look at this baby right here. We got, I think this is an 800 over here, maybe a 700. Yeah, a couple 700s. So I am really looking forward to this. I am an Airbus pilot, but who said an Airbus pilot can't fly Boeing? So we're hopping into the old classic 733. Shout out to everybody. We got a good turnout already. Jeremy Harvey in the house. Shout out to you, man. He's got our custom countdown music, subscriber, alert sounds, all that. Fantastic job. Slam Cannon in the house. Alberto, Robert B. How's it going? Technical Aviator. Man, good to have everybody in the house. So this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be interesting. I know how to fly Boeings, but I'm definitely not, this is not a tutorial by any means on any procedural thing. So if you see something I'm doing wrong, let me know in the comments. I love to learn. This is one of those streams where maybe I can learn something from you guys who are really familiar with Boeing procedures and stuff. But let's talk about this IXEG, man. It is probably one of the best 737s in the game. I gotta admit it. I mean, it's I say game in the sim. But let's go ahead and connect the ground power unit here, and we'll trip over to ground power, get some external lights on. I bought this plane a while ago, and it's just kind of been sitting in my hangar. But I figured, hey, a lot of you guys are requesting that I do a Zebo stream.
Subscriber.
There we go. Danny, thanks for the subscribe. Appreciate it, man. A lot of you guys want to see the Zebo, and I don't have anything against the Zebo mod guys. I think those guys are doing phenomenal work as it works through some of our tests here. Phenomenal work for a free product, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I have probably 5,000 hours in the NGX and PMDG back in my flight simulator 10 days, so I'm just kind of burnt out on the whole NGX scene right now. I like having older avionics. I like a little bit more of a challenge, and I get that with some of these more classic 7.3s. But hopefully this will cure the need for some of you guys that really want to see the Zebo. Alright, I forgot what we filed. I believe it was 36,000 feet here. Let's go and get our cab pressurization set. We'll just kind of work down the overhead here. And if you're on the fence about getting the classic 7.3, I mean, it hasn't got an update in a long time, I'll be honest with you, but there's still a lot of great things about it. You've got this phenomenal menu over here. You can change winglets, camera shakes, vortices, eyebrow windows, all your sounds. I use this a lot here, especially if we'll be streaming. I'll be adjusting the volume. So it's going to be awesome. So ground services, I'm not going to do a full, this isn't like an overview thing, but if you have questions, let me know, and I'll get to them. So let's get to some of this chat here. Tech Aviator asks, I forgot, today was your first day of work. How was it? Well, Tech, I'll be honest with you, man. I dropped that trip, so I don't officially go back, because I had picked that trip up to go back to work early, and then I said, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to do it. So I officially go back next week on Tuesday. So I busted out the top shelf bourbon tonight. We're going to have some bourbon and putting an Airbus driver in a Boeing cockpit. So this should be a lot of fun. All right, let's come down here to our FMC. Check this out, guys. New nav data cycle. See, y'all giving me a bunch of crap for not being updated. Well, howdy do. We're going to go here. And I just do this. I'm not sure if that's technically how it's supposed to be done, but I just copy over the reference airport. Man. I don't want to get too far behind on the chat, so let me get this thing rolling here, and then we will. I'll pay more attention to chat. I like to spend minimal time on the gate so you guys can enjoy flying. We can interact more. But I want to do a big shout out and thank you to all you guys who tuned in for the relief stream. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where all my cameras are bound here. For the hurricane relief stream, and we got nearly $500 in donations to support and everything. So that's with my company match. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. The people are definitely going to be greatly appreciating all of your support. All right, so we are in Phoenix here. We're going to be doing a pilot edge flight tonight. Let's go ahead and get our ATIS 27.57. So I will say one of the only things I don't like too much is I can't mouse wheel.
Phoenix
0. Ceiling 10,000 broken. Temperature 37. Dew point 12. Altimeter 2972. Arriving runways 25 left, 26. Departing runways 25 right, 26. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 25 left and ILS runway 26 approach in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo.
Information echo out of Phoenix.
Phoenix Sky Harbor International
I just got to get
Airport.
the. I don't, do I need the winds in the Boeing? I don't know.
2351 Zulu. Wind 200 at 7. Visibility 10. Ceiling 10,000 broken. Temperature 37. Dew point 12.
There we go.
Altimeter 2972.
That's all I need
Runway
from
25
that.
left,
Let's go ahead
26.
and
Departing
kill that.
runways
And back over to column 1. Fixter Jake 11 says, been watching your videos for a while, haven't got into a live stream yet. Love the content, my man. Hey, I'm glad you're loving the content. Glad you could catch us live on this one. This should be fun. It should be interesting. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out, but y'all saw my flight factor after dark when we were drinking the bourbon, going into LaGuardia. So this should be fun. What am I trying to find? 1975 is what I'm looking for clearance, and then we're going to eventually contact ground control. We are on the south side. South ground
Would you give me that again, please?
is 3255.
9 Bravo runway 16, taxi via Mike Delta, cross runway 12 approach at Mike.
3255. Oh, clearance delivery 18-1. Did I mess that up? What did I mess up? Clearance delivery 18-1. Oh well, I'm already screwing this up. Yeah, I really wish I could mouse wheel that.
Over runway 12 there, at the approach.
9 Bravo with Colton approach hold, you'll see APPC red sign in front of it. That's just if
I want to get my route from her before I program the box, but we'll pan around here some of these views. I'm going to take non-winglet. I think it looks a little better without the winglets personally.
Also, we're going to go to Mike Delta to runway 16.
I love this engine model. This, with the CFM on this 7.3 Classic. Ooh, it's good. Aviator says, please do a King Air tutorial. I'm definitely going to do one, Aviator. We're going to do a whole King Air series here pretty soon. I'm really just waiting on my... I'm really just waiting on my honeycomb. All right, I think she's cleared the airways now. Let's go ahead and get our clearance. Good evening, Phoenix. Clearance Southwest 660, looking to pick up IFR to San Jose.
Southwest 660, Phoenix ground, cleared to San Jose Airport, Kings to departure, harbor transition, then as filed. Climb VIC, departure frequency 119.2, Squawk 6633.
All right, we're clear to San Jose via the Keynes 2 departure harbor transition, then as filed. Climb via the SID. Departure frequency is 119.2, squawking 6633 for Southwest 660. All right, we got our clearance, so we can go set our radios up here. Ground control south, 3255. That's what I had there. And then tower, Phoenix Tower going off the south side. That's going to be 2.5s. So we're going to be on 120.9er. All right, so I don't know why we're bumping around there a little bit. The flight control, the yoke is like moving around. Is it windy out here? I don't know what's going on, but I saw the yoke moving a little bit. All right, let's come down to our FMC. Let's go ahead and do our departure. We're going to plan runway 25 right on the Keynes 2 harbor transition. Boom, boom. Execute that. After Harbor, we filed C-U-R-I-V, I believe it is. C-U-R-I-V. Followed by J212 to DCAS, Delta Echo Charlie Alpha Sierra. Then direct boil. And I like to execute these as I go through, so if I make a mistake, I don't have to clear the whole route back out. And then Avenol, Alpha Victor Echo. Next page, Maker's Mark, KRS, and Trox, and the silicone arrival. Whoops, what did I mess up there? T-Ara, oops, 2 X's. Execute that, arrival, San Jose. We're going to plan ILS 30 left. We'll have to verify it when we get a little bit closer that they are landing that way. Silicon 4. Viatrox, execute, boom. Alright, we are going to come back to our, what am I looking for? Index. Perf data. Alright, so what I like about this IXEG, you just hit the ground call here and it pulls up your ground services and what you need. But what I'm actually going to do is, let's go ahead and get the, I think it's just one forward pump, right, for the APU? Let's go get the APU fired up, and then I'm going to look. We're going to load up the aircraft. All right. I have noticed this. Check this out. If you pull open a menu, and it trips out your screen like that. So I think that's just a bug from IXEG when you're in the outside view. What am I looking for? I'm looking for pre-flight. Okay, here we go.
Holding short runway 16.
We're going to plan for 700 miles. We need about 13,000 pounds of fuel.
It's been about a year since I've been doing this, so.
So let's go ahead and plan 15,000.
Expect visual approach, runway 16 right.
That should be sufficient.
Runway 14 right.
And, oh wait, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do 1506, so I need to go back here. Ground services.
Tower, left close traffic approved, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Left traffic approved.
Dougal says, I really like the mix of old steam and new glass in the Classic. I agree with you, man. Alright, let's go ahead and begin the refueling process. That's going to make our 0 fuel weight. Let's go ahead and do a randomized load sheet here. Let's do a 0 fuel weight of 96.2. And we're going to do 2 reserve. Cost index, we're going to go 75. Cruise altitude, what I say, 360. And execute that. N1 limit, we're going to do a 28K with a climb 1 reduction. Come back to our takeoff speeds here. We'll do a flaps 5 takeoff. And a 136 is our V2. Stab trim is 3.4. So that's going to be just right about right about there. 3.4 on the stab trim. V2 is 136. And our APU should be online by now. Yes, it is. Ground call. Let's go ahead and close the cargo doors. Disconnect the ground power unit. And let's get the air running in here because it is going to probably be toasty. Yeah, it's already toasty. It's almost 40 C in here. So we need to get this cabin cooled down. Get the recircs on there. Jeremy Harvey says, no, in IXEG, I think they will implement a dynamic failure model, but for now I want to get the systems right for take full advantage of Xplane 11. I agree, man. I think they're gonna really surprise us. I really love this airplane. I mean, the modeling, the 3D modeling, the sounds are pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and clean up some of our ground handling. Let's go ahead and get them out of the way here. And we are just waiting on, everything looks pretty much aligned. So I've got my controls bound here, so I'm going to be moving these with my HOTAS, so you won't see me coming down here most likely, but let's go down to land mode.
Tower, good afternoon. Clipper 1214 is
let's skip through here.
runway 30, circle runway 2.
Clipper, that's Pan Am. I like to hear that. All right, our route looks good.
Go to land runway 2, Clipper 1214.
Back to plan mode. We'll zoom it in. Oh, not plan mode, sorry. I want map mode. There we go. And what did our squawk code was going to be? 6633. T-Ara. And let's plan our better pushback, and we're getting ready to get out of here, guys. We are still fueling. We are still fueling, correct? Let's see, 4.870. Oh, come on now. We'll just do an instant fuel here. I want 15K fuel. Boom. Done. I hope that's enough. That seems kind of low, doesn't it? Alright. You know what? Just to be safe, this says 15,000 get us 860 miles if we take 15,000 pounds. So we should have enough gas. That just seems a little bit low. Ah, screw it. Actually, you know what? I don't want pre-flight. I want ground service. Let's bump it up to 17. Let's just be safe, huh? Boom. There we go. All right, no fuel in the center tank. I'm not sure that's accurate. I think if you do the normal refuel, it'll fill it up to the center. Or maybe the wings have to be full before you go center. Not exactly sure. I don't know why we're getting a fuel caution. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and run a checklist. Pre-flight checklist. Pizza covers removed. Oxygen is tested. Instrument transfer switch normal. Window heat. Oh, we should probably do our flow. Let's go ahead and get this on, get those on. We can turn the galley power off. That should be an APU gen. We'll get our fuel pumps on. And that looks good for now. Air conditioner pressure is set. Flight instruments are set for departure. What do we have for our top altitude? Coming out of here on the Keens. It was top altitude of 8,000 feet. Set that right there. Flight instrument set. Parking brake is set. Engine start levers are cut off. Rotor aileron trim 0. Taxi takeoff completed. Fuel pumps are on. Passenger signs are set. Auto brake is RTO now. FMC pre-flight complete. Takeoff speeds V1, VR, V2 set. MCP is V2. Heading and altitude of 8,000. Pre-flight checklist complete. Let's talk to our pushback crew. Can you push us back right there? We'll have them push back. I guess they'll be all right. Yeah, we'll push them back. We'll push back right about here.
Round to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Delta 145, contact Los Angeles Center 133.2. Have a good day.
All right, and we'll go ahead and get our beacon light on. The bleed's on. We will kill the packs. Right, pack's already off. Off, off, off. Boeing things open. Bleed pressure is good for start. Let's get out of here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is dragging.
Oh, I'm getting the fuel light because my centers are on. There we go. All right, I'm going to skip through some of those comments so I can catch back up with you guys. I know I like to be much closer to the comments in real time. I know I get delayed, but I try to read everybody's, but let me skip through some of them so I can get to you guys here. Fifth Freedom Simulation says, V1 with all the bourbon again. I hope parking at the gate is better than last time. You and me both, man. You and me both. It's good. This is some good stuff, though, right here. I figure I should celebrate since I should technically be on an overnight in, I think I was supposed to be in Seattle tonight. So I'm celebrating early.
Descend and maintain 5000. XFL approach.
Juan Gomez, when you put your position on the 737, you should put the GPS position. You find it clicking on the next page in the init page. Oh, that sounds familiar, actually. Yeah. Instead of doing just the airport ref. That's right. Sorry. Hopefully it won't. I don't think it'll mess with us though. I always mess this up. I want to go to index and I go perf takeoff. There we go.
Rating Tower 9 River Bravo, reporting midfield.
Fixture Jake 11. After like 400 hours in various Boeings, I'm finally getting the Airbus down, going from Phil to Orlando in the 319. Loving this bird. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear it.
Runway 16 for the option.
It's a good bird. That's a good flight too, Philly Orlando.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, brakes released, clear to push, tail in the alley.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Here we go. Fifth Freedom Simulation says bugs and updates aside, the flying model itself is superb. Personally, I can do without the eye candy if the model is great. I agree, Fifth Freedom. And I don't think the eye candy is necessarily bad in this plane either. I mean, there's a couple things that are still bugged. You can't open the passenger doors or anything like that. And you know, there could be a little bit better texturing on the leading edge, but I mean, check this view out here. I love this engine. I think this is one of the best modeled engine nacelles I've seen in Xplane. I mean, it looks like I'm looking at a fan blade right there. They got this patch right here, so this inlet is actually all bleed. This is the hot section if you have the engine anti-ice on, and this is a heat weld patch here, so there must have been a leak or something, and they patched it with metal. You'll see that on a couple of different airplanes. All right, let's go ahead and start it up, guys. You're going to listen to these sounds. You will love it. I'm just checking my time here in the sim. It is 0024. Okay, it's a 2-hour flight, so it should put us at 2:20. Perfect. I want to be landing in San Jose at 2:20. Look at that light flicker there, because it's just, I think it'll look better at 2:20 at night, or 0220 Zulu. It's a good sunset arrival in San Jose. Alrighty, brakes are set. Clear disconnect, show me the pin.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
And we are starting engine 2 in this thing.
Altitude indicates 3,500.
You can hear the bleed air changing over. Disconnecting hand signals. We got to put fuel in this thing. I don't know why it keeps doing that. There we go. Give me some fuel, baby.
Roger.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next
NASA Sticks still in the chat, huh?
100.
Alright, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, turn up the sounds just a little bit here. Let me know if it starts to overpower my voice. Alright, we have a good start on engine number 1. Engine number 2. Let's crank engine number 1. I got the retro gauges in here. I agree. Somebody said the texturing is some of the best in this cockpit. I couldn't agree more. Here's our N2. You could change these to the newer gauges as well. It's all a toggle in your preferences. I love that, having options. I can change pounds to kilograms. I mean, in the day of beta and open alpha and all this crap, it's good to have an airplane that comes out that works like this one, even though it's lacking in updates. I should probably set our altimeter, 2972. I was looking at that, I'm like, I don't think we're that high in Phoenix. 2972, set once. I don't even know where I'm supposed to set it again. Oh, I think I'm supposed to set it in here. 2972. Boom. Looks like the low oil light is out. That means we have 2 good starts. We'll trip the gens. We can go ahead and kill that. These come to flight. Get our hydraulics on, yaw damper, galley power is on. What do we got for volts and amps? Looking good there. Gen 1 is looking good. Inverters are all good. I'm going to put this on Gen 1, leave it there. Keep that on battery. And we'll go ahead and get our packs back on to cool this cabin down because it's toasty. We go ahead and auto that. Close APU bleed. That's coming up. Pressurization is set. And we're doing a flaps 5 departure. Let's go ahead and get some flaps out. Ooh, yeah. Fifth Freedom says, I think this is a he, not a she, just like the visual approach in Boeing Field. Okay, so I need to... Oh! Donation coming in, Fifth Freedom Simulations. You demand, Captain K, a $10 donation. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. You're a die-hard supporter, man. You've been here since the beginning. I really love having you here. This is great. All right, there's our Flaps 5. So, yeah, maybe it is a he. I'm not sure. All right, we're going to go find where we are before we take off out of here. So we're going to go off runway 25, 24 right, I think. 240 Wilco, all the way out to Keens and up. Top altitude 8,000. So that looks good. Where is our taxi chart? That is what I'm looking for. So we just pushed off of Tango. So we're going to Dixie or Delta 12. Probably going to be Echo 13 to 25 right. Tower Freak is 120.9er. Ground control south is 3255. Boom. Phoenix ground, Southwest 660, a Delta 12, ready taxi with Echo.
Southwest 660, Phoenix ground. Fox, what is current altimeter 2972, runway 25 right, taxi via Delta 13.
Delta 13 to 25 right, and we'll pick up Fox for Southwest 660, I think. Alright, so Delta 13, Echo 13. Cool. Alright, taxi light is on. Release the brakes. Listen to these engines, guys. Whew. So I'm going to come back here. Let's see if we can hear it from here. So that low power whine you hear at the very beginning, right, you can kind of hear it underneath. Those are the I believe that somebody told me that was the fuel pumps. So we're actually at Dixie 12. So I'm pretty sure she just wants us to come left. And did she say Echo? No, she said Dixie or Delta. I keep saying Dixie. Delta 13. All right. Well, there's Delta 13 off the right-hand side. Captain Hall in the house. Slam Cannon says the texturing in this airplane is some of the best. I totally agree, Slam Cannon. Oh, she wants us at Echo 13. Okay, so get back on center line. We're going to come all the way to the end here and make a right turn. Fifth Freedom says, when you get a chance, can you share your control sensitivity settings? Yes. And it's funny you mentioned that because I've actually tweaked them a little bit for flying this airplane, and I still don't think it's quite right. I feel like I've got muscle memory. Well, I'm sure I have muscle memory for flying the Airbus and the fly-by-wire, so it's hard for me mentally to think I'm using a yoke, but I'm still using my side stick. But I'll show you the settings here. We'll pull up and hold short and set the brakes. And just so you can take a look at it here real quick, guys. So this is my stick, my response curves. Let's see, no, control sensitivity. So I'm running for this airplane 50-50. My rudder pedals are complete trash. So you see I've got pretty high stability and yaw dampening in there. But for pitch, I'm running 30, and for roll, I'm running 20. And while yes, it's not necessarily what's the word I'm looking for? Realistic in real life to have the stability augmentation, but because we are simulating aerodynamic forces, I find it's actually more realistic in the sim to have these on just a little bit, because you do need to simulate some of that aerodynamic feedback, and that's kind of what they're getting at here with the stability augmentation. So, and as far as curves go, I've run just kind of a very shallow curve there on my roll, and for pitch, same thing. Just kind of a shallow curve there, so I get real fine controls in the center. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and we're done with that. And let's flip over to tower frequency 120.9, and departure is a 19.2, so we'll throw that in the secondary here. 19.2, yeah, I do hate having to click and drag. 19.2, 259er on the heading, but we're actually going to be in LNAV, VNAV. I don't think I can arm those on the ground, yeah. So let's see, where was our departure? Basically straight out 258, left turn to 240, Alta Wolco, and we are getting out of here. Top altitude 8,000. Look at this baby. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I just straight up love it. All right, let's call for tower. Phoenix Tower, Southwest 660, holding short 25 right, ready to go.
Southwest 660, Phoenix Tower, wind 1808, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, and short transponder mode C.
All right, 25 right, clear for takeoff, and we will recycle our transponder for Southwest 660. So he should make sure we have mode C on here. Oh, yeah, I got to turn it on. That's right, ATC1. We're clear for takeoff, so let's get out of here. Before taxi generators on, pitot heat is on. I should have done this earlier. Anti-ice as required. Packs are auto. Isolation valve auto. Start switch is continuous. Recall is checked. Start levers out of flight controls. Check ground equipment removed. Flaps as required. APU is off. Before takeoff, flaps set. Green light. Trim is set. Cabin call given. Before takeoff, checklist complete. And you picking it up now for Southwest 660? All right, guys. So I'm having issues in this airplane, the IXEG, for getting the proper flight director commands here on takeoff. Let me know if I'm doing anything wrong here. So I'm going to arm the auto throttle, and you can't arm LNAV, VNAV on the ground. So I'm going to spool it up to 50%. Press the toga button, and it takes over. Okay, so it actually did work that time. All right. I wasn't getting these flight director or the flight command bars from my last flight, but maybe I did something wrong. Here we go. 70 knots throttle hold. 80 knots thrust set. Oh, gotta match the auto throttle position. V1, rotate. Positive right to gear up.
Alaska 359, connect Seattle Center 135.15.
I'm going to hand flat for a little bit here. And LNAV, VNAV.
Alaska 359, Seattle Center, roger. Southwest 660, connect departure.
Over departure, Southwest 660. Alright, I'm going to turn the autopilot on because, Command A, I want to look outside. Departure, good evening, Southwest 660, 2.5, climbing via the Keynes 2.
Southwest 660, Phoenix departure, radar contact, hollow maintain, flight level 210.
Climb and maintain, flight level 210, Southwest 660. Alright, we are cleared unrestricted to 210, so I'm going to go 210 right there. I'm going to go level change because we're unrestricted. I'm going to spin this up to 250. We don't have to pay attention to any restrictions. Get our flaps to 0. And this comes off. All right, let's do a flyby view, guys. So this airplane has some of the best flyby sounds in the game too. I mean, come on. That is a proper 3D sound cone. I just spent, well, I didn't spend any money on the Flight Factor 7.5, but I used all my points that I had in the Xplane store. And the Flight Factor 3D sound cone is completely horrible. So this is acceptable to me. That's one thing that really bothers me is the airplanes that don't have a proper 3D sound cone. This plane sure does. We're 4.2. We're climbing out direct to Woco. Let's take a look over here at a Phoenix. Oh, baby. That looks pretty good. Man. Forex Funds Capital says, "Hi, Captain. Greetings from Peru. Still flying a Cessna. Awesome. That's where you learn. That's where you learn." All right, we are in the turn now. We just passed Owuko. We are headed out to Keynes intersection. We can go ahead and zoom this out a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn our weather. It has working weather radar. It has terrain radar. I probably should have had terrain radar on before we took off. Let's go ahead and make sure our TCAS is displayed as well. So these are all these little functions that, you know, work with this airplane. Where we have airplanes that cost twice as much, well, maybe not twice as much, but that don't have these functions. So we got our traffic display here. I've got terrain on display right now. We're already at 8,000, so we should be all right. Let's do another flyby view, guys. Look at that. Into the clouds we go. 9.7 out of 10,000 here. Let's go ahead and kill our lights. And ding the flight attendants. So this used to be the cabin crew door here, but you can't even open them when they're on the ground. So that's something that I think got broken. Let's make sure we are pressurizing. Yes, we are. Cabin is climbing. This should have been in flight mode. Ugh. All right, that looks good. 10.9. Let's go ahead and go VNAV speed. This cockpit, guys. I mean, come on. I'm a huge Airbus fan, but look at this classic cockpit. Yes. Fifth Freedom says again, 47 watching and only 18 likes. Come on, people. That's right. You tell them, Fifth Freedom. Captain Tom says, "I'm currently on approach in the much more supreme MD-80. Oh, come on, Captain Tom. I don't know about that. It is really good airplane, though. But I think Dougal was saying, I don't know if he's still here, he may have gone off to bed, that the IXEG crashes his sim. I was getting crashes in the MD-80, so it's kind of a reason why that plane has been parked in my hangar for a little while now. Let's do a checklist, actually. Pull the checklist out. After takeoff, bleed air is on. Packs are in auto. Landing gear is up and off. Flaps up and no light. Altimeters will set at the transition of 18,000. Climb checklist is completed. Oh, baby. Jeremy Harvey says, V1 Sim, you'll see this later, but just so you know, the red gear lights coming on during flight when the thrust is idle and the gear retracted. It's a quirk of the real jet, not a bug. Yes, I actually, I remember.
660, connect on Creek, you said at 134.32.
Where's my 134.32, Southwest 660, see it. 34, 32. Oh, I should have went the other way. Albuquerque, good morning, south, or good evening, Southwest 660, 15-2, climbing flight level 210.
Southwest 660, Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, Southwest 660. Alright, up to 36. So, Jeremy Harvey, yeah, I do remember seeing that. So actually, I used to jump seat in the 300s quite a bit on Southwest. And I remember the first time I ever jump seated on an airliner, it was actually a 737-300, and I noticed the landing gear lights were red. I'm like, what is going on with that? But yeah, then I quickly realized that it's kind of basically an alert to the crew. And I think if you're a certain configuration, you'll also get the horn going off as well. But Tech Avery says, I gotta go. See you later if you want to enjoy the flight. Thanks, buddy. Have a good one. Could you turn up the engines a bit more? Yes, I can. Let me go preferences. I'm gonna bump the sound volume of the jet. Let me know if that's okay for you guys. Here comes a flyby view. I mean, listen to that. Oh, nice weather reload. I mean, that is freaking awesome. We should probably pay attention to where we're going here. Let's see. Oh, we're above 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and set 29er and 9er2. Set once, set twice, and 3 times because it copies my setting over here. Let's check out our legs. We are up to Colts, I believe. No, up, yep, Colts and then Harbor, and then we are off. So we won't need this anymore. We'll be looking at the Silicone 4 from here. We'll go ahead and turn terrain off. We'll keep the weather radar on in case we pick up any weather between here and San Jose. That's just ground clutter there. It'll filter itself out, I believe. I may have to adjust the tilt angle. Pilot Boy says the nose gear steering is really sensitive. Yeah, I've noticed that too, and especially with my rudder pedals, it makes it even worse. I'm gonna change the tilt of the radar. Oop, it's over here. Let's tilt it up just a little bit. Some Kansas, someone say Delta. We have light chop here on the taxi. All right. Jim Harris says, arm the auto throttle. I did. I'm just catching up to you guys, getting live here with you. Alberto Delgadillo coming in with a super chat. This takes me back when I used to fly from Oakland to LAX. Hey, you and me both, man. You and me both. I want to say my first ever jump seat flight was Oakland to LAX on a 733. That might have been the flight. It might have been Oakland to Phoenix. I can't remember. Definitely out of Oakland, though. Calbara, hey, V1 ATX here, sir. How's it going, Calbara? Fifth Freedom says, let me wipe the drool from my keyboard from that flyby soundbite. Yep. Is it me or that straight tip looks just great in the era of sharklets, scimitar's, and whatnot? I totally agree, man. Let's go to, how about this view? Yeah. I mean, I remember, you know, growing up on these 300s that I always looked at this little piece here on the wingtip. I always thought it was so interesting. It's just, I guess, just a light fixture. But yeah, that's just an iconic piece that's stuck in my head. Also, this part of the flaps here, when you extend, you see it's kind of like a weird shape. I don't believe that the NG actually has this flap design here anymore. I'm not sure if the NG wing is a little bit longer or not. But I'm pretty sure this flap isn't the same right here. And I remember this looked so distinctive, this little hump right here on the flap fairing, and then that light fixture there, because in reality, I mean, I used to always sit, you know, either right here or, you know, we can do a cabin tour. The cabin tour is definitely a little bit dated.
124.62.
124.62 for Southwest 660, see? All right, 124.62. And LA Center, Southwest 660, 27, climbing flight level 360.
And 9 Alpha Zulu, the heading is 330.
Ooh, new controller. Captain Hall coming in, $2 donation. I will always support people with good vision. Captain Hall, thank you for that support, man. Appreciate it.
LA Center, good evening. 3555.
Thank you for your support, man. Glad to have you here, Captain Hall. But what I was saying, let's do a little cabin tour here. So it is a little bit dated. I'm not gonna lie. You know, the cabin is a little bit dated, but we can go ahead and open up the cockpit door. Old coat rack. So the jump seat.
2490, connect Oakland Center.
So when I used to jump seat in this thing. So there is a jump seat right here.
Over to Oakland Center for
Now
2490.
there's another one. I wanted to say there was another one behind the door.
Number 3555.
Yes, right here. So this actually folds out,
30 at Niner.
and this is a jump seat. And this is where you sit if you can, because it's much better than sitting in this jump seat, and you're actually right behind the captain. So as soon as you get up to cruise, he slams the seat back. It cuts your legs off pretty much with the seat back. So you always ideally want to sit right here. And then this is the third crew member, the ACM oxygen mask. So I used to put my, all my water bottles and stuff in here. And then of course when this folds open, there's a little cup holder in there. But I mean, this was my view for, I don't know. I have probably several hundred hours in this view right here, just jump seating. So let's go into the cabin here. I mean, it's dated, but hey, it's better than not having a cabin, I guess, right? And I'd rather take the performance. So you got our standard galley, you know, it is what it is. There is a switch over here. I assume this is lights, maybe? I don't really want to press it. I forgot to press it on one of my other flights when I wasn't streaming. So I don't know what this little switch does. I don't even know if it's a switch. Maybe it's just a click spot through the wall that it is. But all right, let's go into the cabin here. Welcome to first class, even though Southwest doesn't have first class. But there's your first class cabin. It almost looks like these seat backs are Lufthansa, maybe? Does that look like an old Lufthansa logo? We'll come back down to the cabin here. Exit signs. Sound's getting louder. So, yes, as a passenger, we always want to sit either right in front of the engine.
Pursuit Alpha Zulu, clear direct Palmdale. That's Papa Mike Delta. Resume on navigation.
Or I think I either enjoyed being right behind the inlet of the engine or right here on the trailing edge of the flaps, because then you can still see down. Look at that fork boy ortho down there.
145 SoCal approach.
And you got the flap view here. I love it. I love it. And of course, you know, you got your old engine view. Man. Captain Tom says that's interesting. I have a few minor issues with the MD-80 here and there. Everything is fine. Nothing major like a game crash. Yeah, I should probably try it out again, but
heading 030 vectors final approach course.
I think I'm going to wait for the MD-11. That is going to be one of my babies. I cannot wait for the MD-11. HG says I'll get crashes on approach when I fly this plane. Interesting. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen to me. Nick M says, sorry V1, I love the 737-300-400, but the MD-81s, it has bucket reversers. All right, Nick, that's a good point. What about 737-200? Make sure your start switches are in the off position, Noah. Ooh, are we supposed to turn them into off after takeoff? Probably. Where am I at here? I thought they stayed in the flight position. But we'll go ahead and turn them off. Cool. Sam Kenneth says the pilots have to hold buckets out of the cockpit window to slow the MD-80 down. Nick M says nothing like getting tinnitus from an MD-80 engine. Rip, flight attendant in the back of the plane. You couldn't be more right about that, man. I also remember commuting on the MD-80s out to Philly and sitting right in the back. If you weren't in the, like you, I wanted to be in the jump seat over being in the back, because if you were in the back next to the engine, ugh, it was loud. I would have earplugs with me. I actually would bring earplugs. It's that loud. I actually do have tinnitus in my right ear. That's from flying freight. Robert B says, just had a bit of white knuckle landing in the Zebo at Salt Lake, being buffeted around all over the place and wind shear when we read it. Touchdown. A negative 121 landing rate, so very happy with that. That's awesome, Robert.
I'm getting nothing but really loud noise. There's no voice coming through at all.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty hair-raising approach. Kept Tom 29 feet per minute into Boston. Ooh. But what was the G loading? And did you land at the touchdown zone? Robert B says active sky can inject some interesting weather. So, all right, guys, I'm going to need your opinions on this one. I don't know. This is default weather. This is turn the radio down a little bit.
Number 29 Alpha Zulu, LA Center, Roger, climb and maintain flight level 2.
Oh, don't want to do that. I guess I can't turn it down, but
29 Alpha Zulu, you can climb flight level 230 as your final cruise altitude.
this is actually default weather, so I need you guys to suggest your favorite weather plugin and why. And, you know, you can either put it in the chat or you can throw it in the Discord, because that's going to be the next step. It's going to be the next step for me in the flight sim. I want to get a weather plugin. Right now I'm currently running the default, so let me know what you guys think. Let's go outside for a bit. Oh boy, I left my lights on there. Let's go ahead and turn those off real quick. I need to turn wheel well and wing need to come off. There we go. I guess turn the logo off.
Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 6576. One Alpha Charlie, read back correct.
Oh man, look at that, huh? Robert B says, it's always fun pressing buttons when you don't know what they do. Yeah, you know, I'm going to press it on a non-live stream. I have no idea what it'll do. Jeremy Harvey says the member of the IXEG team who helped develop this was an 8,000-hour captain on the 733, hence the Lufthansa seats. Ah, okay. Yeah, I do know that it was a captain, and I think I saw his picture, and I'm pretty sure he modeled himself right here, because that looks like the picture that I remember. I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, we have airplanes that don't even have, we have $90 Airbus add-ons that don't have crew members in them. Look at them, they're looking around, and I'm pretty sure that's the same captain that developed this airplane, because I saw a picture of him on the store, and I think that looks pretty similar. Hazy day down there in the desert.
Delta 145, turn left heading 010.
Fifth Freedom Sim asks, are you planning on using level change and the speed bugs to manage the descent? I don't know if I'm going to use a level change unless I need to. I'm probably going to use VNAV. Probably just use just a Boeing VNAV. And if we have to use level change, we can. Level change is a lot like open descent in the 7.3. At least in my opinion, I think it's like open descent. So we're probably going to have to do the VNAV descent and using the speed bugs a little bit. And then if we get vectored in for the visual, I'll probably kick the autopilot and stuff off early, because this plane hand flies phenomenally. I love the way this hand flies, and I'll probably be flying this and the FlyJ Sim products for a week straight when I get my honeycomb yoke. It just feels wrong to me right now doing it with my Warthog stick because it's really heavy, and I associate this stick so much with Airbus that I think that's kind of, make me not fly it very well. But I'll be super excited to have the honeycomb yoke. Oh, Noah says, count for takeoff, then after they go to off. Thank you, Noah. Appreciate it. Dougal says, gotta give in, go to sleep. 2:20 a.m. Oh, Dougal, get out of here, man. Get some rest. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of an impromptu stream. I was going to stream tomorrow, but I was like, you know what? I want to do an evening stream. And I was having so much fun with this airplane today. I was like, I'm just going to do an impromptu live stream tonight. Look at that Fort Boy Ortho down there. Man, oh man. Brandon Harris says, a V1 Sim Old School Tuesday. Thanks for flying this classic. Ah, thank you, Matt. That's a good one. Old School Tuesday. Okay. I was gonna do Tactical Tuesday, and I was gonna do another DCS combat stream for you guys, but it just didn't pan out. Micah says BSS has plans for an MD-80 release. That could be interesting.
Delta 145.5 from Snake, maintain 3,000, will establish on the localizer.
Fifth Room says ignition selectors can stand in flight mode when it's really freezing cold out. Okay. Slam Cannon says, yeah, better not do anything. BSS better not do anything until the toll list pack gets out. I couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. I really, really want that toll list pack to drop. That plane needs it. Captain Hall, you run Xplane 10 default all around. All right. Hey man, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Nick says OV1, I love the 73200. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorite planes. Absolutely. Robert says your landing used a little bit more runway than you should, huh? Laterally and longitudinally. Well, Robert, if you can walk away from it, man, that's a good landing in my book. Christopher, I love the IXEG. You and me both, man. This plane has been sitting in my hangar for a while, but I do remember just enjoying it. Took it out today, and this is probably my 4th flight I've had in it. I mean, listen to that flyby sound, guys. That's 10 times better than a $90 to $112 flight factor 757. Changed my mind. I mean, come on, that sound is on point. Alright, so you got the weather requests coming in there. I love the IXEG. I love Active Sky.
Delta 145, connect John Wayne Tower, 126.8.
I do have X-Vision. Captain Hall says, Captain Canada says Active Sky with X-Vision. Alright, I might have to do the Active Sky. That's the one I was looking at earlier today. I was just kind of checking it out. What about, so what's X-Enviro, guys?
145, John Wayne Tower, 12008, runway
what is, X, because I saw X-Enviro as well, and I was kind of I was kind of confused as to what X-Enviro really brought to the sim, as opposed to, Active Sky. So are they kind of the same thing, or I was checking it out. I wasn't sure. But that's why I like having you guys here. You guys are extremely knowledgeable in this stuff, and I can kind of turn to learning around. I can learn from you guys. Captain Hall says, do the crew move with the yoke stick movements? I don't know. We should try it. We'll try it on the approach, Captain Hall. If I remember, I'll do an outside view and we'll take a look at it. Fifth Freedom says, overall, you can't beat Active Sky when it comes to FPS performance and reliability. There are other more fancy graphic weather injectors, but they'll hit your system pretty hard. Alright, so that's kind of what I don't want to get something that's really going to brick my frames either. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom this out there. Avenal is still out there. So this is really cool. When you move your HSI mode, it pops up. And it stays there until you move the screen.
211 Alpha, Charlie Radar contact.
So, like, if I'm up here looking at something and I pull this up, I can see
211 Alpha,
the aircraft
Charlie,
is on
thanks,
course.
Santa Barbara departure.
And then it goes away when I move the screen. I mean, little details like that. It just,
390 Golf Mike, you said you're ready for taxi again?
it's awesome. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off.
Roger, only 290
You are now free to move about the cabin. I think I like the engine better.
211 Alpha, Charlie, Santa Barbara approach, altimeter 285, cancel the altitude restriction, resume on navigation.
Robert B says, I use Active Sky XP and Ultra Weather XP. Certainly recommend ASXP as an injector. Makes it more lively than default. Interesting. I've looked a little bit at Active Sky. Oh, I'm sorry, Ultra Weather XP.
0 Golf Mike then.
But yeah, I think I might lean, I'm acting towards the Active Sky X Vision pair, because I do like X Vision. I do run X Vision.
0 Golf Mike then.
Mo Charlie says the bugs for landing are VREF 30,
Yeah,
10,
lean
150,
power,
flaps
lean ready to go.
15, 170, flaps 5, 190, flaps 1.
November 390
Oh,
Golf
okay,
Mike,
so
Roger, make left close
below
traffic,
190
midfield,
flaps
runway 29
1.
Lima, clear for takeoff.
Below 170 flaps 5, 150 flaps 15, and flaps 30 at VREF. Alright. Yeah, I do know land flaps 30 unless we, short field technique, maybe you do 40. I do think that the 7.3 wing, especially on a 300, when you go flaps 40, oh, it just looks so dirty. I love it. We're wing up. Oh, baby. It's time for another flyby. I mean, come on. Listen to that fade out. My goodness. For as old as this airplane is, and I know it gets its lack of updates, but what needs to be updated other than a few small bugs here and there? I mean, this plane is so complete. I love it. I love flying complete modules. Alright, we just passed DCAS. We're on our way to Boyle, 36,000, on the speed. We're looking good. How is our progress page holding up here for fuel quantity? Oh yeah, we got tons of gas. 7.8 at Avenal. Okay, maybe not tons of gas, but... Oh, one of you guys that are familiar with this plane in particular, I hope I don't have to do it, but whenever I click a fix, right, I copy it and then I go to move it to Boyle or whatever to make it the direct to, my game freezes and then it comes back, I hit execute and it goes. Now I read somewhere that it has to do with the Windows Defender or something like that, that it's constantly trying to scan, and when you don't have it, when it's running, it pauses because it has to reload all the data. Do you guys know of any workarounds for that? Is there a way to fix that so I can just go, Silicon, put it in the direct spot, and it doesn't pause? It pauses for me. It doesn't crash ever. It just kind of locks up until I can click execute. But maybe one of you guys have a good fix for that. I got it. That's one thing I need to research today after this stream. I'm going to hop on the interwebs and see if I can find a little fix for that. Jimmy Herbst says, turn on the flash and light ability and watch the flicker. I know, man. Let's check this out. So he's talking about this light here. Watch the detail here when we turn this light on. Boom. Flickers, it turns on. It's kind of like the Fly J series. I love it. I mean, That's detail, guys. That's unreal detail. Try to get a good shot. There we go. Slam kind of says the Active Sky user interface is fantastic and the developers support the product. That's what I like to hear. Cool small details, getting dedicated ADAS channels on the radio for your departure and arriving airports. That is really cool. Pilot Boy V1, is there a possibility to see you like on the bottom of the screen? Is there a possibility to see you like on the bottom of the screen? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Oh, like to see me. Oh, like a face cam. I've been toying with the idea, guys. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't want to clutter up the screen any more than it already is. But I've been toying with the idea of a little face cam just for streaming. So maybe you guys can voice your opinions in the chat. But, you know, it would make it a little bit more fun for you guys, I think, to interact with me. You know, you can see my reactions and stuff. But I just don't want to have a bunch of clutter on the screen. But I don't know. You tell me. What do you guys think? Oh, we got the Airbus buzz sound there. Super chat coming in, Captain Hall. Nice microphone, $2 donation. Thank you, man. Thanks for that. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it, Captain Hall. Glad you're enjoying the content, man. You guys rock. Fifth Freedom says, stop doing these flybys or I'll run out of tissues here. Oh, man, I can't help it. I just can't help it. We'll do another one here in a minute. That's, is that Blythe? I think that's Blythe Airport down there. I'm pretty sure that's Blythe. Maybe we're already past Blythe. No, we're definitely past Blythe. I don't know. Let's see. Where are we? I know that airport. I've seen it a million times. I'm trying to see where it is.
November 29 Alpha Zulu, connect LA Center 134.65.
So it should have been. Let this load up here. Huh.
Zero Alpha Mike,
LA Center 29 Alpha Zulu, level 230.
29 Alpha Zulu, LA Center, good evening.
Oh, there we go. New subscribe, Stacy. Thanks for the subscribes. Two of them coming in at the same time. Stacy Guffey and F Best Clip. Thanks for the subscribe, guys. Glad you guys are enjoying the content. I'm trying to see what airport that was, but oh, 29 Palms, TNP. That's what it is. Yeah. Was it TNP Airport? Yeah, that's probably 29 Palms. All right, flyby view. Get your tissues ready. Whew.
13 Whiskey Santa Maria, ground runway 30 taxi via Alpha.
That's juicy, guys. That is juicy. All right. Sempcanon says it needs work. XE. Oh no, not XE. V1 Fifth Freedom says no on X and Viro. Too much money and poopy support. Not to mention crappy performance. Okay, well, that answers my question. I will shy away from, or shy away. I will shy away. Let's just see. I'm on my third bourbon here, so this should be interesting. A little bit of bourbon and unsweet tea, man. What we call Texas pilot fuel. Official Brandon says, is the ATC real people on Pilot Edge? It sounds like Tower and Approach where they're all the same people, very unfamiliar with Pilot Edge. So Official Brandon, yes, they're real people, and they do a phenomenal job at being accurate in simulating the ATC environment. And you will hear the same voice. Yeah, there's some traffic down there. That's cool. So little guy right there. You can hear the same voice if they don't have a lot of people on working the centers. But depending on peak times or not, if they have multiple controllers on, then you will hear different voices. But if you get on it's a really low peak time, they may only have one guy controlling, you know, all the sectors. Because it depends on how much traffic they have, I guess. But if you are wanting to practice your air traffic control communications, then Pilot Edge is probably the way to go, because it's awesome. Awesome for learning how to speak on the radios and stuff. And I'm probably going to be doing a video here pretty soon on just basic ATC radio communications, because I know a couple of you guys have been asking me, like, what's the best way to learn? And really the best way is to practice, but I'll probably put out a tutorial video here in the near future, just basic, you know, what you need to say, what the controller expects you to say, what they expect to hear back from you, because a lot of it is, if you know what the controller is asking for, then it will really help you on understanding what you need to say. So I'll probably do a small tutorial video on that. Micah says, what are some of the pros and cons working for a Mayor flight? In your opinion, how do they compare to other cargo companies? What recommendations would you give to a 500-hour pilot? I love your stuff, man. Thank you, Micah, for the kind words. So my opinion on working for a Mayor flight. Well, when I was there, it was it was a little bit different than it is now. It's gotten to a point now where I think it's a very good company and very good at what they do at moving cargo. They have decent maintenance. I mean, I'm actually at the end of my tenure there with them. The maintenance was, you know, really pretty darn good. So nothing to complain about, which is rare when you start, you know, getting into 135 cargo ops. But if you're looking for a place to build time, I would recommend them, because it's hard work. You know, don't get me wrong, it's going to be hard. You're going to be loading your own cargo. It's some of the most challenging flying you're ever going to do, but you're also going to be the best pilot you're ever going to be when you're working for them. So, I mean, I look back at some of my old freight videos. I actually got one up now. I put up, it's on the turboprop series. It's just kind of the hype video I released to the public. I had it up on my YouTube channel for a while, but it was an unlisted video. But now it's public for you guys to watch. There's a little, you know, bunch of clips I put together flying the Beech 99. And I look back at it now, and it's, when I was there, you know, it was like, gosh, I hate this place. I want to get out of here. But looking back on it, it was the best thing I ever did for myself, for my career, and for my abilities as a pilot. So if you're looking to build time, I think it's a solid company to work for. I think I actually may have a friend that still works there. I think he's the training captain or program supervisor or something like that for the Metroliner, maybe even the Brazilian now. If he's still there, in fact. I don't know if he is or not, but it's not going to be easy. But if you go into it knowing that and you're ready to work, you're going to enjoy it, especially after you get out and move on. You're going to look back at that time there and really enjoy what you learned. Luke Gilbert says, Active Sky gives you real-world weather with little texture improvement. X-Enviro and Ultra Weather XP just give you better-looking clouds, but no real weather injection. Ah, okay.
Make left traffic.
All right.
And report midfield down, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
Robert B says, so much ear candy tonight. I agree, man. Alberto Delgadillo sounds realistic. I know, man.
Number 211
He sounds.
Charlie. Point Magoo approach to Camarillo altimeter 2987.
Oh yeah. Over the California Rockies, or not California Rockies. Look at me. What is this mountain range here? One of y'all should know that. Enough of that. Listen to this. the way it sounds, the way it fades out, I swear it's a real airplane. Listen to the fade out.
Roger.
That's unreal. I love it. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Back it up, baby. All right. Zachary McPencow says you should fly to MDW. It's one of Southwest's most focused cities. Yeah, well, maybe. This is probably, I think this is my first stream I've done at Southwest, so maybe we can do a little Southwest hops. I'm really waiting to get my yoke, and then we're really gonna be flying some Boeing stuff. But I'm probably gonna do a 330 stream here in a little bit too, just so you guys can see the JAR 330. It's an okay plane. It's really beautiful. But it's kind of leave it at that. And I'm really waiting on that BSS sound pack to drop for Tolus. That's kind of what's holding me off the Tolus right now. Is that sound pack. I just really want that sound pack. King4154 says, hey, what's up? Hello from Fort Worth, Texas. Well, I'm just down the road from you, man. Good to have you here. Zachary McKenna says, hello from Chicago, Northwest Indiana. Okay, so you're probably a big Southwest fan, right? Stacy Guffey says, great content, GA pilot in real life, learning a lot about Xplane from your stream. Thank you. Stacy, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. That is why I do what I do here, streaming. I want you guys to learn things, especially about the Airbus in particular. But I'm sure there's some other things you can pick up on too, and if some of it's Xplane related, that's even better. So it's a great sim. I love Xplane. I think it's the future of flight simulation. We'll see what happens with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But until I see some real hard data and see some people actually flying around in it, I'm just going to kind of reserve my hype for that. I do think Xplane is the future when it comes to flight sim. Which may not be, may rub some people the wrong way. Jeremy Harvey says, during development, the captain of the IXEG team failed components and the system's interactions were amazing. Even the alternate flaps run slower than normal, just like in real life. That is awesome. I love to hear that. It does have some failure scenario here. You can pull up failures. All the different stuff you can simulate. So I know it's been quiet on the front of their forums and stuff, but I'm hoping that they're working on it. Maybe they'll come out with a whole new 11.35 and up native 733.
7 Delta Romeo, San Bernardino Tower, straight out departure is approved. Runway 24, clear for takeoff.
That's one thing that kind of got me upset about the flight factor. So if you're not in the Discord, you probably don't know, but I didn't own the 757. And a couple guys were flying it. I saw some streamers streaming it. Looked pretty good. So I went to the org store and I was able to get it on points. And first off, if I had already owned the flight factor and I had to pay for that update, I would be very unhappy. But what got me is so I used all my points on it. I was able to get it with points. My biggest problem is they're asking $90, upwards of $112 for an airplane that looks like it came straight out of FS9. The texturing on the exterior is extremely subpar, especially on the wings and the leading edges of the wings. The sounds were subpar. The systems modeling is pretty darn good. I love the systems modeling. So that is what kind of balances it out in my book. But at that price point, my goodness, you would think that they would provide an updated external model that's, 11.35 and up, whatever, native and compatible, take full advantage of all the new tweaks. It flies nice. It flies awfully light touched, in my opinion. I've never flown a 7.5 other than just a sim a couple laps around the pattern. So I'm not 100% sold on the flight dynamics. I mean, the systems modeling is pretty darn awesome. There's a lot of systems. They're all modeled with depth and detail. But yeah, that was one thing that really kind of triggered me, was the fact that they're charging that much. It's kind of like, woof. And I mean, you look at this plane for $73. It's like, yeah.
What's the aircraft type?
Okay, so let's see where we are here. We don't want to get too far. There's Boyle. We're going to make a right turn to Avenal Makers, and then we're going to start down on the Silicon 4 most likely. So let's go back to home, charts. Let's just take a quick brief look at this. So we've got a couple altitude restrictions at or below. We are VNAV capable in this thing, so we should be able to dial in 4,000 feet here at Hitter, and we'll be able to use the VNAV descent. Let's take a look at our descent econ path here. Let's plan to descend at, what are we doing, Mach? We're doing 7.6. Is there any speed restrictions on this? 280 at Trox is our first restriction. So let's do a 7.6 and 280 on the indicator in the transition. See there, see how it hiccups, like, see I'm frozen, and there we go. So you just have to, I have to like spam click that until it actually goes through. But we're gonna do, it wouldn't let me do 7.6? Okay.
7 Delta Romeo, you're 5 miles to the east of what?
Maybe not. What if I do speed? Uh-oh. I should probably stop messing with this because I don't want to end up crashing my game. I haven't messed with it too much while streaming.
7 Delta Romeo, roger, Squawk 5554.
Alright, so we'll do a speed descent. Mach 7.2. I'm not going to play with it too much because I don't like how it's hiccuping like that, especially during streaming. I'd hate to have a game crash, so we'll leave that. The init ref, we're going to do a flaps 30 at 133. And I like to add 5. I don't know, is that illegal for Boeing? I like to add 5 knots in that.
LA Center 133.2.
133.2, Southwest 660.
7 Delta Romeo, radar contact 2 Southwest San Bernardino.
Flipped over, 33.2.
285, transition westbound approved. Remain north of the Ontario airport at all times. Alpha Charlie, SoCal approach, Burbank, altimeter 2986.
Center, good evening. Southwest 660, level 360.
Southwest 660, LA Center, good evening.
Uh-oh. Time for Bourbon 4, and then we're going to start our descent. In the turn, here we go. Oops. Man, that looks good. Nick M says you can't show up to work drunk. You're not airline pilots. Official Brandon says I do ATC at Memphis on VATSIM, so we're looking forward to our voice codec. Awesome. I'm slowly getting into the VATSIM game. I know I need to have it set up before we take the Airbuses over to Europe. So I want to get the VATSIM all set up. Pilot Edge is so easy to set up. It's just plug and play and done. I know there's Swift Client, I think, for VATSIM, and then there's, they're working on the new codecs and stuff, so I gotta get more familiar with setting it up. I watched Q8's got a good video on how he set his up, so I'm getting there. We're definitely going to be doing some VATSIM stuff in the future, definitely. Fifth Freedom Sim says, if you want Sim, do you recycle your X-Vision presets, or are you pretty much set on one in particular? So, Fifth Freedom, I actually adjusted this one just a little bit before the stream. There's another traffic down there. That's cool. See his lights down there? That's so cool. It looks like there's two of them almost doing a formation fight. There's one there and one there. I'm pretty much set on this one. What is this one called? I think this is the Vivid preset. And then I just tweaked a little bit to see how it looked. My problem was I think it's a little bit dark in some aspects of the day. Some time periods like midday, the cockpits are still really dark. So I've been doing a little tweaking. But for the most part, I keep it on the Vivid preset. Robert B says, I've been sitting on the fence regarding XVision for a while, and it really seems popular. Does it make that much difference? Robert B, I would look at Q8 Pilot's video on XVision. He's got one kind of talking about XVision and how to install it. I think it does make a difference. Especially, I used up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I used one preset only, and that was the Impressive preset. And I really like the Impressive preset. It's Q8 uses it a lot in all of his videos, and I just did the exact same thing he did. He only tweaked one thing in the preset itself, and I really enjoyed the way my game looked with the Impressive preset. I think it did make a difference. It kind of gets the contrast proper and kind of gets rid of the super hazy look, in case it's, today it's pretty hazy out here in the desert and the smog as we come into California, but I honestly think it is worth the purchase. I wouldn't put it on the top of the list. Like maybe if you really want an airplane that you're looking at and you'd rather have an airplane, maybe get the airplane instead and then get XVision later. But if you don't have anything that you're specifically eyeing on, I think you'd be happy with the XVision plugin. So check out Q8 Pilot. He's got a good video on it. He walks you through the install and how to work it, because there's some technical stuff just to get it set up the first time, and then once you get it set up the first time, it's pretty easy to manipulate. Slam Cannon says, how many hours do you need to work for a part 135? Oh boy, pop quiz. I think it's 1,200. Slam Cannon. I think it's 1,200 hours, and I don't think they require 1,000 PIC, maybe 500. I don't know if there's a PIC or pilot in command time restriction, but I'm pretty sure it's 1,200 hours before you can go 135. Fifth Freedom says, that'll be the Sierra Nevadas, Captain. Thank you. Oh, man. I enjoy drinking bourbon while flying on Xplane. It's enjoyable. I had to make up for all those streams where I'm hard at work streaming and Fifth Freedom is out there on the beach sipping on Coronas, making me jealous. How to make up for it. Gavin Botwinick, will you ever fly the JAR 330? I did mention that a bit ago. Yes, I will. I'll probably do the next stream if I'm being in all honest with you guys. Pizzicar coming in, $20 bomb donation. How's it going, man? Sorry I missed your morning stream. I love the different aircraft. Great education. Don't worry about it, man. A morning stream we talked about yesterday, maybe. Glad to have you here, Pizzicar. I'm glad you're learning stuff, and I'm glad you enjoy the mix of aircraft. That's really good. I'm glad you guys enjoy that, because sometimes I get, I get hesitant to switch the airplanes on, especially if it's not an Airbus. But if you guys like seeing different aircraft, that makes my job a lot easier.
29 Alpha Zulu 010 to send a maintain eastbound.
Ooh, baby. Man, look at that 300 with no wings. It's just juicy.
West of the Santa Barbara Airport, and a right down, runway 25. Actually, once you're whiskey, change your plans. Make straight in runway 7 and just let me know when you're on a 3-mile final.
Zachary McPencow says, I have a video on my channel from DC to Midway with the Southwest. Great video. Hope you can check it out. I will do it, Zach. If you're a member of the Discord, man, just drop a link in video links, and that'll be easier for us to check out. That's cool. I love seeing flying videos. Is it a real flight or one that you did in Flight Sim? I actually was it the other night. I watched a full flight 727 real life video from a guy recording, I think it was Boston, no, Philadelphia to San Francisco. And I just put myself to sleep watching that video. This probably means there's something wrong with me. Let's see. Oh, you're talking to Robert B. Ooh, ultra water enhancement, etc. That's another thing, another point. I haven't even looked at water enhancement add-ons or plugins yet.
Absolutely.
Robert B says fifth freedom. I guess I'll add it to my shopping list. Jeremy Harvey in the house saying V1. Someone said they can't wait for the BSS pack for this thing. This is one plane that doesn't need it. I totally agree, man. I'm not even sure if he's making the BSS pack for it. I mean, I'm sure if he is, I don't know if it can get any better. It would be interesting. If it was better than what it is now, I think there could be some tweaking on the cockpit, in the cockpit ambience. I think it can be better for ground operations, maybe in the cockpit. I'm not exactly sure. But, man, you guys have to hang tight for the shutdown. When I shut down these old CFM motors, you can really hear the grinding, and it's just, it brings back so much nostalgia from sitting there on the window seat, the engine shut down, and just you really hear it come down. So if it is true, if he is making a BSS pack for it, then I'll definitely be interested to see how it turns out. Because if it's better than the default,
Number 29 Alpha Zulu, turn left.
that'd be pretty sweet. And I mean, if anybody can make sounds better than the default ones, it'd be Comrade. He makes some pretty good sounds. He makes some really quality stuff. Some of his older stuff, I think, he was still kind of learning and getting better. I actually think the 7.5 might actually be a BSS pack, but I think it's a really old one. So his standard to me is set at the Flight Factor 320. Zach says your landing brakes are still on RTO. Oops. There we go. Back to off. It's an Airbus thing. Automatically trip off. Amit Kumar, do people still fly the 7.3 in real life? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few of them in the Middle East. Oh, no, sorry, not the Middle East. In Europe that fly the 7.3. And there's actually a couple 732 operators still around. So they're still out there. Few and far between, but they're out there. Cap Tom says, I think you should have used the older desert color livery. Yeah, you know what? That's funny. I was looking for one. I found one that wasn't really good quality, so I installed it, but I didn't use it. And then I used the Canyon Blue livery, which I like, but this one just, I don't know. I figured a little mix and match, a little old and new. Maybe the next one will go even more retro with the desert, or what is it, the Southwest Love one, the brown one. I love that one. It was great. Phantom 320 says, I think it runs scripts when you make changes to do calculations, and Windows Defender repeatedly scans it. That's, I think that's exactly what I remember reading. Is there a way to fix it? Is there a way to allow Windows Defender to stop scanning it or something? Oh, you already answered that for me. You said if you add an exemption in Windows Defender for Xplane, it helps with the stuttering when changing it. Okay, I'll take a look at that after the stream. Thanks for that. First Officer Phil in the house. First Officer Phil says, V1, I would love to become a pilot. I speak perfect English, but also German and Italian. Do you know how I could possibly fly routes between the U.S. and Germany at one point? Thanks. Well, I guess it kind of depends on where you live and what airlines are available to you. But the first thing that comes to my mind is probably a cargo operator. You can get on with a cargo operator, and they're going to fly you all over the world. And that would actually look really good on a resume to have multilingual on your resume, because you can communicate with ground crew and rampers and loaders and all that stuff in their native language if you're in their country. So that's something definitely that could come in handy for you. Subscriber Mathis Marion, thank you for the subscribe, dude. Glad to have you here. Zach McPincow, what's the Discord? It should be in the description. Check the description below. There should be a link in there. Ooh, it's a 737-700 real video. Cool, man. I'll check it out tonight. All right, how are we looking? Let's see. We are approaching Avenal, then Makers. So there's Makers, and then we're going to be going direct to Trox and down for the arrival into San Jose. Let's take a look at San Jose right now. Let's see what we got down there for weather. Norman E. Manetta, San Jose International is showing 340 at 11, gust 19. So we'll definitely be landing northbound, 10 miles, view at 1300, scattered at 47. Standard on the altimeter, that makes it easy for us. AO2. Oh boy, what does AO2 mean? This is a good pop quiz. So this is remark. This is good for me to. I gotta go back to the sim. I gotta go back to the recurrent training here anyway. So remark. AO2 means it's a station that has precipitation reporting capabilities, I believe. This is sea level pressure and in millibars, and this is your temperature and dew point in decimal format, 24.4, 13.3, and 58004. Man, if Phantom 320 is still in the video here, he's going to school for this stuff, I think. Drawing a blank on this number right here, 58004. But that's an interview question for you. When you go to the interview, they'll give you a METAR and they say decode the whole thing. This one's pretty easy. I mean, I've seen METARs that'll fill this entire page. But all right, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go back to our charts here. Let's take another flyby view. I think it's been a minute, right? Let's hop outside. Yep.
Go ahead. No, the departing is bound.
Whew. You know what I like too? Look how the contrail is coming out and just dropping down and aft. It's kind of unique. I don't know if it's because the deck angle is slightly a couple degrees above the horizon. Look at that big bypass fan right there. Look, you can see right through the engine. Oh, baby. Fifth Freedom says, V1, try the real-life V8 by Leo Ryan for X Vision 1.26. Best preset for Xplane Xplane. If you ask me, though, I know the whole thing is subjective. Okay, real-life V8. I will check it out. I'm going to put it down right here so I don't forget. I like trying new things. Real life V8 reset. All right. Fixter Jake 11 manned the air clips video of the 350 from I think Munich to Tokyo is in the main video about 2 hours long. Yes, I think I know exactly which video you're talking about. Get a little further away so it's not too loud. Oh, that's kind of a cool shot right there.
Number 13 Whiskey, thanks to the parking via Charlie, cross runway 15 right.
I believe we're over Death Valley. Pretty close to it.
Have a good day.
Fixture Jake says amazing approach with a short final visual turn. Yes, okay, that rings a bell. I know exactly which video you're talking about. Nick M says the engine shutdown on this plane is fantastic. Absolutely, I agree. Oh, we got a reload of weather there.
Frequency, have a good day.
Got our contrails back. Phantom 320, I think there already is a BSS sound for the 733. I don't know much about it, just switches and background noises. Really? That might be interesting to check out then. I'll have to check it out. I'll do a little Google searching.
660, contact Oakland Center, 127.45, we'll see you.
127.45, have a good one. Southwest 660. 27:45. We are level 36. Yes, we are. Oakland Center, good evening. Southwest 660, level 360. Smooth ride.
Southwest 660, Oakland Center, roger.
All right. Zachary McPincal says in northern Canada there's a lot of 73200s and 737-300s. Yep, that's where I see a lot of the gravel combis for the 732. There's one video or one YouTube guy out there that I've been watching. So he's got some really good, high quality 732 footage. One of them, there was actually flying a combi 73, combination between passengers and cargo. Pretty sweet video. Makes me want to fly that 732 next, but we'll see. It feels so wrong to fly these really quality these planes that are high quality with their flight dynamics. I know it can be done with a joystick, and honestly, if I had a joystick that maybe was less heavy, it wouldn't be an issue, but the Warthog stick feels so much like the actual Airbus stick. I have a hard time personally just getting my brain transitioned to a conventional aircraft. I'll just, I'll put in an input with my stick and let go, thinking, because that's how the Airbus is going to take. It's going to lock in. You're pitching for roll rate and G load in the Airbus, whereas, in a conventional plane, you pitch and bank and all that stuff. So I have to consciously think about manipulating the flight control when I'm using my Warthog stick, and I think when I get the yoke in front of me, it'll be much easier for me to get that out of my head and just fly the airplane as it's meant to be flown. And I mean, that should be a point right there, is a simulation is best at when you realize you forget you're actually in a simulator. And when I fly the Airbuses, the TOLUS 319, and the flight factor, especially the flight factor with the BSS sound pack. When I'm flying those airplanes, I forget that it's a sim sometimes. So that should be a testament to how well they're modeled.
Climb via the SID, Squawk 2613.
Cap Tom says, I like the new Heart 1 livery too. Looks smooth. Yeah. In the turn. Might be a bumpy approach down there in San Jose. It's gusting to 19, almost 20, so could be fun. RC Flyer 86, hello. How's it going, RC? Good to have you here. Glad you could join the stream with us. We are just getting ready to start down here pretty soon, I imagine. Let's take a look at our cockpit. We are approaching Makers now, and then so we've just, let's see, Makers, yep, so we're right here, just starting to star inbound. We are estimating San Jose at 0217. That is perfect. Time to top a descent is 0157. Time now is 45. So we're just about 10-12 minutes from our descent. I might have to run to the lav and refill this bourbon here before we get started going down here. It looks good. That's actually, I think, a good point. I'm going to do this. I'm going to back us up a little bit so it's not deafening loud. Oh man, look at that. As we transition, as we get closer to the coast, the brown goes away and the green starts. Fifth Freedom says, V1, I fly in the Classic at least once a month in real life. My job takes me to all kinds of mines in northern Canada where they still use it as per second. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's crazy to get to fly. You got to take some pictures and stuff. That's really cool. Phantom 320 says, I think 58004 is a 4-hour minimum temperature. Oh, super chat coming in. $20 bomb donation. Or how's it going, man? It says, what is the minimum height to be a pilot? MXN. I'm not sure what currency MXN is. With 20 of them. Thanks for your donation, man. Thanks for your support. The minimum height to be a pilot, I do not believe there is a height requirement in the United States, that is. Now, you have to be able to be unimpeded to see visually, right? So you got to be able to sit up enough to where you can see. Now, I've actually had students, female students, that were very short, and they would sit on a pillow or a little step. So that was fine for them. So I don't think there is a minimum height requirement in the United States. Now, once you start going to different countries and maybe some foreign carriers, there might be some restrictions that I'm unaware of. So that's a cool shot right there. You'd probably want to check with your local country's guidelines and recommendations. But as far as the United States goes, I am unaware of a height requirement.
Silicon 4 arrival, sounds altimeter 29902.
Cynthia Silicon 4, 29902, Southwest 660. All right, descend via. We're going to bottom out at 4,000 at high tar. So, oops. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. This is kind of cool. And we're going to auto descend. I love it. RC Fire says, I really want to get this plane, but it hasn't been updated in so long. Each Xplane update will break it more. You know, RC, that's what guys are saying, but I tell you what, man, it's still one of the best out there, I think. I mean, there's a couple things broken, such as the cabin crew can't open the doors. I think there's a little bug now with the data here. I should be able to select route data, and I should get information displayed here, and I don't. So I don't know if that's a function of Zoom, maybe? I don't know. But other than that, man, this plane still flies phenomenally. Most everything else still works. I mean, I'm yet to run into a grounding bug, you know. I mean, it's still one of the best out there, I think. So I have heard they're working on an update, though, so that might even, you know, that could be something to be looking forward to. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick lab break. I'm going to put you right here on the window. I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. So I guess we get ready for our descent. And set up for Southwest 660. I'm going to be off frequency just for about 60 seconds or so.
Roger.
All right, I will be right back. Going to the lab. All right, we are back. Southwest 6, so we're back with you. All right, we are back in it here. Let's get caught up to the chat. And let's see, we are still the way for our top of descent, so we're looking good. Now, this is where I always, you know, Boeing drivers are always like, hey, you do nothing in that Airbus. Well, at least I have to push a button to descend, right? Because this is easy mode here. We're going to set 4,000 feet for the bottom of our arrival at Hitter. We need to set our course for 30 left, which would be 306. We already have it set up there, and I'm not sure if I have to do this or not. 110.9er, 110.9er, I already have it set. Awesome. Probably because I already did a flight into San Jose in this. So that's another thing. This airplane actually remembers where you set your radios. So I did a flight into San Jose before doing this live stream, and I did the ILS 30 left, and the nav radios were already set, and the course was already set. So, and I actually had, if you notice when we first started the stream, I had my old Squawk code was in there. So that's another plus to this airplane. It actually remembers where you leave everything too when you shut it down, which is kind of cool. All right. Zachary McPencow says, in March I'm going to be flying from Midway to Oakland, the next day from Oakland to Honolulu, all on Southwest. Ugh. Oakland to Honolulu on Southwest, man? I mean, I know they go there, but damn. It's not going to be the most comfortable flight. Hopefully you get a window or an aisle. I know they're killing it over there on that inner island flying. Financially, anyway, they're doing a good job. Ooh. We are chasing. We are chasing the sunset, guys. Man, that looks good down there. I love Xplane. Should we park ourselves on the wing here for a minute? That looks good. Michael Little says, I love watching your videos. It's great to pass time. Awesome, Michael. Glad you like watching them. Phantom 320 says, actually disregard the 58058004 is the pressure trend over the last 3 hours in millimars. Pressure trend in the last 3 hours. Okay. Elite Gamer says, how does fly-by-wire work? It's a loaded question, but in short, Elite Gamer, it essentially is you make a flight control input to your joystick or the flight stick, whatever it may be, and you're sending a signal to a computer that will move hydraulic fluid to move the flight controls. And it'll set, you know, in the case of the Airbus, you roll into a 5-degree bank, you command a roll rate from the stick, and then you release the stick to 0. You're no longer commanding a roll rate, so it stops, and the airplane will actually hold you right there at 5 degrees of bank. Now, that's a very abbreviated explanation. But that is fly-by-wire in a very, very short nutshell. Fixture Jake says, I saw recently a Canadian airline forgot the name. They're investing millions and upgraded the 72 to full glass cockpit with new FMCs to keep them in service for the North. That's pretty sweet. One of the YouTube videos that I was watching that was telling you had the combi that was going up in Canada. It had a full glass cockpit retrofit on there. I mean, it looked it looked pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I love the old school, but it's cool when you can mix some of that old school with some new technology, especially if you're really flying those airplanes in real life. That's got to be pretty cool to have. Oh man, the sun's setting over the desert, starting to turn orange. Elite Gamer also asks, when you first started off in the Airbus, was it hard? Well, funny enough, Light Gamer, my aircraft that I flew before the Airbus was an Embraer 175-190, and the Embraer's cockpit, I guess not really cockpit technology, but the Embraer's flight guidance computers and the displays on the Embraer actually displayed more information than the Airbus. So in a way, it was kind of like taking a step back for me in technology when I came from the Embraer to the Airbus. The Airbus it does a lot of stuff automated, but it also does a lot of stuff that's not automated in the most modern of jetliners, you know, it's the Embraer being one of them. So it wasn't necessarily hard. Alright, we're starting down Southwest 660. He wants us to start down? Alright. So what we'll do is, I'm just going to vertical speed it down here. At 20... Oh, that's way too much. 1,200 feet per minute. And hopefully we'll catch up to our top of descent here, and then we will VNav it down. So you can see he started us down about 10 miles early. It's not a problem. We'll catch up to it. But yeah, it wasn't hard. It was just a different way of thinking, you Light Gamer. Fixture Jake, there you go. There's your answer.
Victor Bravo, ready ground on 16.
It still uses hydraulic fluid though, Fixture Jake. So that's the only difference there is you're commanding a signal which will move components to the moves hydraulic fluid. So it's just one extra step in the chain. All right, here comes our VNav path. Let's see. Descent.
Bravo 660, descend maintain 4,000, flighting 360 for descent, connect local approach 121.3.
Alright, send to maintain a 4,000 and NorCal approach 24.3 on a heading of 360 for Southwest 660. Okay, that was kind of a dick move. 4,000, heading 360. And I guess we'll level change it down then. Screw it. Here we go. He wants us down, we'll go down. And he said SoCal approach. I don't remember what frequency he said. We'll call him a 2452. He might have said 24.3, but that was kind of a dick clearance. And NorCal Southwest 660, we're turning 360, descending to 4,000, and we're still picking up the Addons in San Jose.
660, NorCal approach, visual approach 301.
Roger, visual 30 left, Southwest 660. Okay, so we are going to go 30 left, and let's go ahead and get the Addons. 2695, we'll put that in COM 2.
India, 0153 Zulu, wind 310 at Niner, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, few clouds at 3,500, temperature 21, dew point 12, altimeter 2992, arriving and departing runways 30 left, 30 right, visual images in use, ILS runway 30 left approach in use, VFR departures contact.
Just missed the winds.
Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read backhaul runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information India.
Information in there, 29902.
San Jose International Airport. ATIS information India. 0153 Zulu. Wind 310 at Niner. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 800. Few clouds at 3,500. Temperature 21. Dew point 12.
Alright, 310 at Niner. Go back on column 1. Alright. So 310 at Niner, visual 30 left. We have it all set up here. Let's take a look. 110.9. Our final approach course is 306. Touchdown zone for 30 left is 57 feet. The field elevation is 62 feet, so let's double check. Let's go ahead and make it 62 feet there. And let's see, San Jose Tower will be 24-0 when we get down there. We're looking for kind of approach system we have down there. Oh, that's right, this is a U.S. government chart. It's not a Jefferson chart, so it doesn't tell us the lights on this page. But basically a 3-degree path. We're going to be visual. Hopefully it'll just give us visual. We'll just go direct to one of these fixes on here. And I think we can go ahead and set up for, let's turn the seatbelt sign on. We'll do a descent check. Descent check, pressurization is checked, recall checked, auto brakes. We're going to do auto brake 2. VREF, check. Approach brief is complete. Altimeters are set, 2992. It's going to be 92 when we get down there, so descent checklist is completed. I'm going to give this guy a little bit of speed brake. I don't know why he vectored us out here. I really wanted to stay on that arrival. It's much prettier coming over the hills. Let's go ahead and turn terrain mode on. On. Unless I'm... Yeah, so... I guess he's planning on just giving me...
Southwest 660, you can expect to turn back to the airport as you pass through 14,000.
Roger, Southwest 660. Expect to turn once we're past... Did we miss a descent here? Like, what? I'm kind of confused at why... Maybe it didn't start down. I thought I set 4,000. I wonder if we missed something and we didn't start down. I thought we were okay, though. I don't know. I didn't think we were quite to Trox. Did we already pass Trox? Well, now it's sequenced, but... Alright, well, we'll increase the speed brakes. I don't know if that's on me or if we're just being vectored off here for other reasons. But anyway, we got the speed brakes out. We are descending. Ooh, baby. A little bit of a crosswind there. You can see the crab angle. Kellen Hannigan says, flying to my home airport. Awesome. I did a lot of flying into San Jose. My grandparents lived out. Oh, they still live out there. My grandmother still lives out there. So
660, turn left heading 260.
Left turn 260, Southwest 660. Left turn 260. I did a lot of flying into San Jose as a passenger and as...
Southwest 660, turn left heading 260.
Left turn 260, Southwest 660. How do you hear the transmitter? Ruh-roh.
Southwest 660, you're not getting a read back, seeing your turn now, though.
We'll try him on guard, see if we can pick him up on guard. NorCal Approach, this is Southwest 660 on guard. How do you hear this transmitter?
Southwest 660, read your line, clear on guard.
You got a different frequency for us? We're 2452 on column 1.
Southwest 660, flying heading 260, contact NorCal Approach 121.3.
Alright, 260, 121.3 for Southwest 660. Alright, so we'll go back to column 1 here. I think we lost him on that freak. Southwest 660. We're in the turn 260 descending 4,000 on 21.3.
Southwest 660, roger.
All right, we got to slow below 250 to get below 10,000. Lights are coming on. Believe these go to flight. Let's get down here. It looks like we are pretty much cleared to go. Direct. Can we clean it up here? Let's go. Gens. Applied. Yeah, let's go gens. We're not gonna. We're gonna stay in heading mode though. Unable cruise altitude.
Southwest 660, turn left heading 210.
Left turn 210, Southwest 660. Gens is supposed to be at 3,200 feet, so yeah, we are pretty high. Subscriber coming in, Alan Dampog. Thank you for subscribing, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. Maybe the aircraft didn't start down on the VNAV, but I know it does normally, so I wonder if... Did we ever reach cruise? Did we have a different cruise altitude? I mean, we can't see it now because we're already in descent mode. I don't know why it didn't start down. I had VNAV armed. I'm not sure. Because I know I've done VNAV before. I just still don't know if it's on me or if it's... They just... I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the stream a little bit there. Freedom, Fifth Freedom says, the last section on that METAR looked like it's a 3-hour pressure tendency. 5 is decreasing, increasing, and 0.4 millibar range. That might be right. I know it's something that I rarely look at. Kept Tom says, so you're telling me it's a sin to use the FMC and the FlyJ Sim birds, but it's okay for people to have full glass? Make up your mind. Yeah, man. Well, not full glass, but I think it's cool. I wouldn't say it's awesome.
Southwest 660, turn right heading 270, intercept early.
Right turn 270, we'll intercept the low, Southwest 660. Alright, so this is going to be interesting because we are higher than a van full of hippies right now. And let's see if we can go back to legs mode here. Let's go back direct gens. Execute that. Let's go ahead and go LNAV mode because he wants us to intercept that. I'm going to level at 4,000 and we're going to slow all the way back 180 knots. Arm the approach. Tower is going to be 24-0, I believe. Yep. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come on, Boeing. Put you back in heading mode there. Okay, we're slowing down to 180 below what was it? 190 flaps 5? Let's see. Yeah, below 230 flaps 5. Alright, we can go ahead and arm the speed brake. Man, we gotta get caught up here. 180 knots. We're tracking back inbound. Can I get a direct high vac? Execute that. LNAV? Talk to me.
Southwest 660, Sounds Airport, 1 o'clock, 20 miles.
Inside Southwest 660. 1 o'clock, 20 miles.
660, visual approach, 30 left.
What visual 30 left, Southwest 660. I think this guy just doesn't really want to do too much work. 20 mile clear for the visual. Okay. Well, hey, we got it. We're back configured, though. We're flaps 580 knots. Glide slope is armed. Loc is armed. We are cleared for the visual. Lights are on. Oh, man, look at the vapor coming off the wing. Ooh-wee. Oh, baby. That looks awesome. Another flyby. Oh, man. Okay, we should probably pay attention here. We can look at the replay later. We should probably descend, maybe? Let's see. We're going direct to HIVAC. HIVAC is at 2700. We're cleared for the visual. Let's get down. Level change. Oh, I gotta take approach mode off. Level change. We are clear of the terrain. All right, we're coming in here. Looking good. Micah says, what's your favorite Golden Age aircraft, and would you want to transition to wide bodies or stick with domestic? That's a loaded question, Micah, but I can answer Golden Age aircraft 727. It's hard to beat. Fifth Freedom says, should I get the barf bag out with the descent rate? Hey, man, it wasn't too bad. It was only like 4,000 feet a minute. This is Southwest Airlines. We don't mess around. Alright, what I will do, though, as soon as we capture everything here, let's go ahead and rearm the approach. I'm going to take manual control because I just want to fly this puppy in.
2,500.
30 left. Tower is set to go in standby. Oh, man, let's do another flyby, though. Yeah. Look at that decking. We should probably go flaps 15, maybe? Can we do 15? See, we're not turning yet. This is going to be a sweet replay, guys. I can't wait for this replay. 24 nothing Southwest 660. I wonder if this is the guy that doesn't like me that I normally do stream with in the morning. San Jose Tower Southwest 660 visual 30 left.
Southwest 660 San Jose Tower 30 left, clear to land with 3109er.
30 left, clear to land Southwest 660.
American 2498 descent bounce discretion, maintain flight level 240.
Alright, I'm not going to pay attention to chat anymore, guys. I'm going to just get us on the ground here because I want to actually try to do a good landing for you guys. I'm in a rut. I'm in a landing rut here with Flight Sim, so I need to get a good one. Talk to me, Boeing. Alright, we're going to do this. Resync track IR. I want you to be right about here. Get my view set up. Aircraft is turning. Flaps coming out. There we go. There's the load. Bring it back to 160. And here we go. Starting down on the slope, so let's go ahead and bug. What did I say my init ref was? 138. Nope. Yep, 138. I'm going to bug it and just take control. I don't know if I did that right, but my airplane now. Below 160 flaps 15. That's the gear horn. Here we go. Actually, I still want flight director. Let's do flight director and approach. There we go. 2 whites, 2 reds, flaps 25. 30 left, slightly off course here. Flaps 30. Landing check cam call done. Start switches are continuous. Seat brakes are armed. Landing gear is down. And flaps are down. Green light. We are clear to land. 30 left. We're getting high. Come on down now. I know, we're high. We're coming down. We're coming down. We'll get back on it. Man, that trim wheel sound, so awesome. 138 knots on the slope. Definitely a little bit breezy out here. It's not me rocking this. We're getting bumped little rocks here and there. Man, this looks awesome. Holy smokes, this looks good. Thousand feet stable. Two whites, two reds. This runway has a really long displaced threshold. It's kind of deceptive. If you haven't landed there before, it's got a real long displaced threshold. You fly over. .138 on speed, on slope, looking good.
American 2490, connect Seattle Center 126.6.
Look at the rabbit light there. Oh my goodness. Alright, I have a tendency to always flare the Boeings a little bit high and a little bit early. I'm going to try not to do that. Two whites, two reds, all the way down. Looking fantastic.
100.
50 feet over the threshold.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
We are down. Spoilers. Oh, that nose wheel. Oh, that nose wheel. Reversers.
American 2490, Seattle Center to 780.
Woo, baby.
Arrival, Seattle altimeter 2996.
I'll take that. 136. We'll stow the buckets. We'll take that.
Southwest 660, right on Lima, cross 30 right, taxi via Zulu to the ramp, remain as frequency.
Right on limit, clear across 30 right, time to the ramp, stay with you, Southwest 660, good night. Alright, right on Lima, rip center line, I'm gonna
Southwest 650 information Delta with
disconnect for pilot edge. We are clear right. I thought we could have got a little bit better, does he want us on the outer? No, he wants us on the inner, so we'll go on Zulu, even though we disconnected. Alright, we're clear of all actives. Let's go ahead and reconfigure the airplane now. We'll get the APU fired up. Turn that puppy off. Strobe lights coming off, wing lights coming off, wheel well lights coming off. Stow the speed brakes. Flaps up. Alright, we got a shutdown checklist when we get to the gate. Well, welcome to San Jose, guys. Wasn't a sub 100, but hey, I'll take a 136. It's better than my Airbus landings recently. Ooh, baby. This is going to be a good replay. Southwest gates down there at the end. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Sunset there over the mountains. Bunch of Americants there. Alright, we're going to pick ourselves a gate over here. Frontier. And southwest. We got any open gates other than the one right here? Looks kind of crowded here tonight. I think I see an open spot right here. We're going to wedge it in right over there. I think that's an open spot. Yep, we're going to park it right there. Perfect. HG Sim says it's a bug. It's not me on that VNav. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe we should have started down and it just didn't go down. So, my bad. But hey, we're down safe. Things happen. We'll just pretend that the crew got caught up in talking about their vacation in Cabo. All right, kill the taxi light. Oh boy, we overshot that by a mile. Yeah, I know I gotta go to the left. Calm down. Oh, baby. That looks good. Alright, let's pay attention. Here, I'll show you how Southwest comes to stop at the gate. Full brakes. Alright, we'll set the parking brake. And APU is online. Trip the gens. Alright, guys, listen to this spool down sound, will ya? We'll do it from over here. Actually, we'll do it from in here. It's better. Listen to those engines wind down. That is iconic for these old CFMs. Man, I love it. All right, guys, let's disable our real view and take a look at that replay. We got to see that. Disable that. Toggle replay mode. It's going to get a little funky on the sound here. Watch your ears. Sorry about that. Alright, let's take a look from... Where should we watch this from? Let's speed up a little bit. It's really loud in there. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. We'll stay for outside from now. Here she comes. Here she comes. Look at those lights. The buildings here on final. Oh my goodness. They even got the highway signs here. Used to get on the Highway 17 there and take it down to Santa Cruz. Alright, so we're at the blast fence essentially here. We can back up. Listen to it come over the top. Ooh, baby. You can see the wheel well lights there. A little bit of a float, and we set her down nice and greasy. Nose wheel got out of hand there a little bit. Woo. Tim Tom says Southwest taxi just below V1. Yep, that's about right. And then come to the gate and slam it. Fifth Freedom says those trim wheel sounds are money. I totally agree. All right, I'm gonna try to watch one from inside. I'm gonna turn the volume way down for you guys though, so let's see. I'm unsure at that volume sound. More funky sounds on the replay, I apologize. We're down. That was pretty buttery, if you ask me. All right, guys, I'm going to send it back one more time, and then that's pretty much going to do it. Thanks for tuning in on this impromptu stream here for our, just a little IXEG love on the 737. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will catch you guys on the next one.
This is how I show my love.